You guys probably don't know this, but I quite like Mario Maker. Hell, it's the most played game on my Switch, so why not talk about it? Anyway, I have made quite a few troll levels on Mario Maker. Some of them are quite good and some of them are absolutely terrible, but today we're going to be going through some of the mechanics and techniques that I used. Hope you enjoy.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on!
So in this level, then Luigi runs and hits the switch. But look what happens when he hits the switch. The launchers on the ground drop down, bounce up, and kill Luigi. So how did I do this? So what's going on here is actually quite simple. We've got a launcher up here, an on-off block here, and a spring here, and there's actually a cloud behind the launcher too. So what happens is, if an on-off switch gets triggered, then the on-off block becomes intangible. So what happens is the launcher will fall through the on-off block, land on the spring, and bounce up onto the cloud. And that's a very good technique if you want to trap or kill the player, because if the ceiling's too low, then they'll be crushed. However, if the player can hit the on-off switch, then if they hit it quickly enough, then the launchers can actually be destroyed. Here we have a rather simple troll that doesn't actually need explaining that much. So what the player has to do here is they have to ground pound the block on the right, which will make a red power block come out, which they then need to hit with a snowball. However, if you only hit the first block, then the snowball will be destroyed for whatever reason. But if you hit both of the first two blocks at the same time, then it will launch the snowball towards the power block. I'm not exactly sure why this happens, but it still works. And here's another instance of the first launcher setup, except it doesn't need an on-off block to be triggered, it just happens as soon as it's loaded. And the only way you can't get crushed by this one is just by being quick. This next troll is really simple, and you've probably seen it done a million times before if you've played Mario Maker, but I'm going to go through it anyway. Basically, all it is you put two hidden blocks, or one depending on how thin the gap is, over a vine, so if the player jumps, then they become trapped, but if they just climb the vine, then they can get through no problem. Here's another weird glitchy one. So what this is there's a Shamit on top of a semi-solid, and there's a hidden block on the same tile as the Shamit, and for whatever reason, if the player just does a normal jump, then the Shamit will be destroyed by the hidden block, but if they duck and jump, then they'll actually get the Shamit. I did actually showcase this separately in a glitch level called Just Duck and Jump, which had a bunch of similar glitches as well. Here's another weird glitchy one. So what happens is Luigi is stuck on the side of a seesaw, but for some reason if he hits the hidden block that's under here, then he can just walk through the seesaw like it's not there. Weird. Here we have a nice fun anti-softbox setup where it looks like you can die, but you can't. So, what's happening here is Luigi is running backwards and forwards towards the spikes, but they get blocked off by on-off blocks before you can reach them. You can see the swamp conditions above, and now I'm just going to tell you how they work. So the first thing you'll notice is that there are rows of conveyor belts on either side of the swamps with cannons attached to them, and that's so that if the swamp hits the switch, then the cannon will go up, making sure the swamp can't go down again and make it able for the player to die. So then the player will have to run to the other side of the room, but then the other swamp will be able to activate that switch, so then the other spike will be inaccessible, and it just continues.